Welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott. And greetings, blessings, salutations, and love once again. Welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott from another working class, cheap 2-star hotel here in the Washington, D.C. area this time. Greetings and blessings to all of you. I just kind of arrived. I checked into the hotel. I actually went and got a bite to eat and then swung back. And I thought, you know what? It's Friday night. I'm hoping the sound quality is okay, adequate at least. I hope it's coming through all right. I know I've got a neighbor on that side, and I think there's one on this side too. So I'll try not to be too loud, but praise be. I made it to DC. And like the thumbnail said, I've made it to my destination in Washington, D.C. You know, the cheap hotel. I think I'm actually in Laurel, Maryland. I spoke to our buddy Barnabas, Midlife Pro Logic, earlier because I know he's up in the Baltimore area. He's got I think in his mind, he's got a better familiarity of where I am than I do. But yeah, just outside of DC. So I am excited to see who I may get to meet while I'm here. And Darius, if you happen to catch this already, praise be, man. I already met one dude at the restaurant. Pretty cool cat. We talked for a little bit. He was a veteran as well. And Michael, join me. Keep that thought. We don't know how, we don't know when, but we know it will be happening. Wars are ending soon. Praise God, indeed, man. To all of you who are here with us, Frank, I saw you got the day off. Blessings to you, man. See, there's divine timing. There's a perfection to time. Oh, praise God. I didn't make a lot of notes today, but I didn't make a lot of notes today, but I had a lot of thoughts, right? Thinking about God and how all good things can be. Sincerely, to all of you who's been a part of this adventure with me. Holy crap, man. Holy crap. Frank, yes, indeed, brother. Washington, D.C., the District of Columbia. I'm actually just outside of it on the northeast side, if I'm not mistaken. I drove past it. Apparently, but yeah, so the goal is, hopefully, even though it's the weekend, I'm hoping to get some foundation laid by Monday, and Monday maybe start opening some doors. Maybe Monday doors will start opening, because after all, there's a lot of reasons for me to be here. And in my mind, I was thinking about that when I go to visit my state senator's office. There's a lot of reasons for them to see me. Who am I? Who I am? I am a homeless veteran, disabled on top of that, who drove from Spokane, Washington to Washington, D.C. because the state of this nation was kind of calling for it. And see, love is bringing me here. Love was with me this whole way, man. The whole time, love was here, except admittedly, right, that time where Smokey disappeared under the seat. I thought I lost her. And so love was a little sketchy for me to hold on to at that time. There was a little bit of fear, a little bit of regret and grief and all that stuff. But see, the mind is tricky. The mind is very tricky. There, brother. The more we love, the more love we have to offer. so it is with God's love for us. It is inexhaustible. And I don't, and this is where my thought was today, was thoughts on God's love, because truly, it's hard to explain because it's kind of new to me to begin with, but this love for God, I feel, I imagine it goes both ways, man, because that's how people work. Oh, that's right. I'm seeing some new memories coming up in my mind. What if we see Jack on the news? I sincerely anticipate you will. It's part of planning for success. I intend that the news will be shared. I initially thought I could get some of the news people on board with this idea so that we create the news instead of just talk about the news. Speaking of, I know it appears to be the same, but I'm going to go ahead and drop the link. It's Friday night. I'm kind of chill. I'm just relaxing this evening. Going with the flow to see what might or might not happen. Because that's how life works. Life is a beautiful mystery. And we weren't shown the mystery, we were shown distractions and entertainment. We were shown rules. We were shown how to fit in the past. We being people like me, right, who became a part of the society, went and got a job, paid the taxes, and registered the vehicles, and licensed the boat and the people. I played all those parts, man. Oh, that's not a StreamYard link. I wonder what I shared. Oh, I might have shared the link for this one. Thank you, Daisy. There we go. Thank you, Daisy. We'll try that one. That one might work a little bit better if you want to join. I could have had $1 million in my retirement account. I was heading that direction, but things changed. Everything changes. And welcome, my friend Daisy.
I hope it works.
Yeah, that was bizarre last time. So,
well, but it gives me a message that I don't know. And then I couldn't go live.
I think you froze again. I'm pretty sure it's not me. I'm sorry, man. I'm pretty sure it's not me. Thank you. The great thing to remember is that though our feelings come and go, God's love for us does not. C.S. Lewis has a lot of notoriety and apparently a lot of work that I've never investigated. I know that name has come up multiple times for me, and all of the wisdom is sound. God's love for us is eternal. We're just specks in the dust. We're just light that experiences time, and we are time that experiences light. And then when we accelerate, I heard this earlier today somewhere, when we accelerate to the speed of light, there is timelessness. And that, in a way, would make sense. For what is time? Time is nothing more than change, but it's not just change. It is the record through awareness. See, all there is consciousness. We are all mind. mind and heart. See, a mind and heart put together, those two things become the spirit and the essence of who you are. That's why it's real important to have a clear mind and an open heart, because a lot of people are walking around all bound up and guarded, ready for war, ready for battle. Life is going to be anything you want it to be. You want it to be hard, it'll be hard. You want it to be a battle, you'll see it. You want it to be beautiful? Open your eyes and look around. The world is gorgeous, man. Everywhere I've been, everywhere I have ever been in my life, this world has been beautiful. Mother Earth always under my feet. The Father's Sun in the sky brightening every day. And the air that I don't see, but I know it fills my lungs, the air, right? So everywhere I've been, it's been abundant with life. See, life is why we are here, brothers and sisters. What does life mean? Life means change. Time, life, change, those things are constants in this realm, right? The experience that we share. But in the beginning, we come from no thing, and in the end, we return to no thing, and all that's left is the memories, both here and there. I don't know if this is making any sense for anyone but me, but man, I am feeling good. I really am. I got home, I got here, like I said. Oh, this is it's not sketchy, but it's a certainly working class at the best. this place. Checked in, and then I looked in on this Happy Cow app. It's an app that helps you find vegan friendly places, and I found a place, Vegan Junk Food. That's the name of it. So I went out and got some vegan junk food, rolled back in. Me and Smokey were just chilling out. I did have, like I said, I did have a number of inspiring ideas earlier today. I didn't get a chance to make the notes, right? Traveling. I haven't figured that out. But I'm sure they're going to come back to me. This is what I know it is for me. And here's what I thought, I'm not sure where to go or how it's going to work, but I mean, I'm going to the Capitol building and I hope to see the president. See, God has brought me here. Christ is my king. It is he who I seek to serve. And in that service, love has brought me here. See, I would love to know that there's peace on this world. I'd love to know that the liars have been confronted, that they're no longer being enabled. And I'm pretty sure this is what God is doing, because I've been learning to surrender more, even more for me. I've surrendered to me, to my life, with trust that everything's going to work out somehow, some way. Dude, yes, we can make this happen. I bet we can. There's a way. I just got to cross paths with the right person, get their attention, say the right thing, right? It's really easy. Not, but we'll see. It can all come together, and live streams from the Capitol, that could be amazing. And this is what I'd like to offer. Donald Trump could sincerely use an advisor, a man like me, to help influence him. I could be a spiritual advisor for sure. Because, well, I've said this before. I don't remember exactly what I said, but I mentioned to someone recently that my purpose in coming here to DC, it is to meet Donald Trump, and not just meet him, but influence him to help Donald Trump become the man he never imagined, just like me. I never imagined myself being a devotee to God with the goal of ending wars. What if Donald Trump became like that? Holy shit. If Donald Trump all of a sudden says, no more womanizing, no more glorification, no more wealth, obsession. I'm changing. I'm gonna devote myself to God. If Donald Trump actually did that, I could help him. I could help him very easily, and I could encourage him through helping him understand the many, many rewards that would be available, not just for him here on earth, but through the actions he could take towards ending wars, ending wage slavery. Donald Trump, man, he's got a big ego. That's why he is where he is. I guess I got a big ego. That's why I'm where I am, and I'm trying to be where he is. I pray in my heart to become a hero. And I seek to serve, right? Wherever I can. And I know that where I go, despite the rumors and despite the absence of witnesses, despite those things, I believe the record pretty well shows that throughout my life, anywhere I went, I made a positive influence. Okay. Well, if any place could use a positive influence, I'm thinking it's in the Capitol building in Washington, D.C. So if anyone listening, if you know of anyone who might know of anyone who may have a way in, right? Reach out to me. Share my name, my number, invitation, right? You don't even have to understand it clearly, but if they have a path to senators and congressmen here in Washington, D.C., might be willing to work or listen to a guy who's committed towards world peace, please share the number and have them reach out. I'm dead serious about this life I'm living. I'm dead serious about the goals that I'm working towards. Because, yeah, right there, Special K. See, the oppressors, those who have power and take rights away, the oppressors, they continue growing, they get more confident, and they take more and more the less people stand up. Now, I know there's people standing up against all sorts of things. Keep your attention focused entirely on what is truly your own concern, and be clear that what belongs to others is their business and none of yours. To some degree, I agree. To some degree, I don't. But no, I can still agree, because you get to choose what is truly your own concern. And the immediate world around me crumbled, right? That's Jack's story. It happened. Lost connection with my family, my friends, the career. It was all gone. So my world disappeared, and I actually disappeared from the world. So I'm no longer in the world, but I guess I'm no longer of the world, but I'm in the world, whichever the right way is. You know what I mean? I'm here, but this world ain't me. I'm with God. already in heaven. I've been in heaven for a long time, it seems. I didn't expect it to be so lonely in heaven, but here I am, all alone, wherever I go, knowing God is with me through it all. And just like God is with me through it all, God is with you. And I don't think any of us really understand God's love for you so much. So much. He's given you everything. And he's given me everything. And, here we are, this whole world, the entire world has been given to you and me and others to share. The whole world. It's people who created these stupid borders. People created these stupid rules to follow, man. People will drive you crazy if you let them. People will drive you crazy if you let them. Align with God. What does that mean? Align with love. The greatest love. The most overwhelming love. The most empowering love. Align with love. That's why you're here. We forgot. People forgot and they didn't know, right? People don't know what they don't know. And people don't know what they have not learned. Well, there's a lot of people who think they learned. And there's even more people who think they know. That's why we have wars going on. That's why we have all the corruption and all this other stuff, because people are prideful and arrogant and foolish. Praise God. Very true. Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself. Hold yourself to high standards. That's what I started doing for myself, and I'm continuing to raise my standards in different ways. We're here to grow. And brothers and sisters, growth is change. Change means letting go. What used to be true may not be true anymore. What used to be good may not be good anymore. It's all up to each of us. But I tell you what, the ideas and the concepts of doing your mental health work, right? The shadow integration, finding goals, finding purpose. These things are so important. If you haven't looked into those things, I encourage you to try. If you want some leads, some ideas, again, reach out to me. I'm happy to share support any ways that I can, and I want a healthier world. I want this world to feel the love that I feel. I want this world to know the God of love, the God of truth that I know. This relationships I found with love, it transformed my life and people around me. I've explained this. I've explained everything. God has been showing me. People got confused by what was going on with me. Thank you, Crystal Shaman. Alignment, law of love is the answer. But what is in your control is already accomplishing your mission, even if you don't see it. I've been paying attention to my life and the life I'm living, how life happens. There's a greater consciousness to all of us that's leading us all through our lives. It's up to us to pay attention. But the world we've been raised in has taught us to look the wrong ways, to behave the wrong ways. But it's a new day. And so I'm extending more trust and appreciation. Welcome back, Snap.
Interesting. So I saw two predators hanging out. I saw Flow State, Taylor Briggs, the pedophile sympathizer, Jack Talcott, the maybe baby rapist optics. Two predators hanging out. So is Flow State Taylor Briggs on a mission with you? Did he give you any support, any money? Is he going to DC with you? Or are you guys just two predators hanging out? One godless, one blasphemous. Just curious.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want answered?
Coach me.
You've proven I can't.
Oh, coach, you can't coach. Maybe that makes sense because your life is a mess. So how are you a life coach?
Snafu.
That's a fair question. Oh, it's me. Just like it was your union brothers and sisters, right?
What are you saying?
It's everyone's fault but yours, correct?
Snafu, I'm the only one who has tried. You've tried not.
I've tried. Oh, so what's the big plans for Jack? We saw you go hang out with the Predator. What are you gonna do next? You can go get butt fucked by Hank? Fuck his torso? Like who you seeing next?
Do you ever listen to your
John Lewis? Sorry, not Hank. His name's John Lewis.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, where are you going next? You going to DC now? Did Flow State offer any of his resources? Did he offer you a spot on your channel to promote your DC visit? Or did he just grift you for some money? I thought you visiting people was supposed to help align with your mission, right? What did Flow State bring to the plate? What did he offer to Jack Talcott? Other than two predators grifting online that night, is he actually going to go to DC with you? Is he going to help? Is he going to financially help? Like, what is Taylor Briggs going to do for you since you showed up there?
Ask him.
Well, he's afraid and a coward. I'm asking you because I hope that since he used you online to grift, and you are going out there to try and find help, that he didn't manipulate you.
Doug Tulino. I've never met the man, but I've heard this, and I think this is accurate. Doug Tulino is the interim postmaster general until the board elects a new one. Doug Tulino is back when I met in DC at the time, he was the labor relations manager, and I was very familiar with him and his work. He's a man I respected. I respected his work, actually. If I remember right. So that's interesting. And that was one of my ideas is, well, show up at LaFont Plaza and see what happens, see what options might be available. So we'll see. Sorry to interrupt you.
Is Flow State going to be there for you? Is he going to go there with you? Is he going to help you? Is he going to promote on his channel?
No, he's not here.
No, he doesn't have to be here to help you, right? He has hundreds of viewers. He could still help promote your mission, right?
Sure. Anyone can do anything they want, Snafu, just like you. You've done just what you want.
Well, what do you mean I've done just what I want?
You believe what you want. You say what you want. You do what you want. I don't understand why you do the things you do, though.
I believe the optics that are put in front of me. The
You
truthio.
selectively you use selective memory, and you ignore things that don't agree with what you already think. I've seen
Okay,
you do it over
give me
and over
one
and over.
example. Give me one example of my selective memory thinking.
Well, have you given up on the fact that the rape accusations are false?
No,
I,
no, because you changed
right,
your story
right,
before you
right,
drag me down.
right. You've ignored everything I've said, and you've overwritten everything I say because you think you're the authority, Snafu, but you're a very, very confused man. It's shown through your
Jack, do you
behavior.
not remember changing your story? Do you not remember changing your story during that whole process of the
Tell you
rape?
what, Snafu. I have zero reason to even allow you in my life. So the fact that you're not banned, you can learn how to show some fucking respect, dude. I'm a good man for you to learn that from, because there's nothing wrong with showing someone like me a little more respect. That's partially true, Miss Margot. I don't like people who pretend they have some supreme authority when they do not. You're another one. Margot, I've said it a long time ago. You were my very first snafu. There's little difference between you guys. Not in my life. You both you both allegedly have connections, and you hang that shit over me as you gossip about me and you call me names and you Miss Margot. You and Snafu are the same character, and I have confidence too. Because this wizardry, I don't like abusive people. Thank you. See, I can respect authority. I can respect position. I can respect people. But abusive people, particularly when they're hiding behind some fucking title, some imagined position of separation that makes them think they're better than another, if they want to abuse people, we got some problems. Nothing like triggering the slaves. I think that's what happened with me, Arpol. I was a slave. I didn't recognize it. I hadn't seen the change that held me back. They were obvious, but I didn't have the perspective at the time. I was a slave and I got triggered. I got fed up with being fed up. And the best way to make someone unslave worthy, educate them. See, an educated man is not, well, praise God. God creates the stories. Snafu, I'm done with you. You know how to reach me, unless you've got something special, and then figure it out. And if anyone else besides Snafu wants to join, feel free. I'm happy to hang out and chill. Otherwise, the other side of this as well. It's already 8:30, heading towards 9 here, and body could use a rest. I imagine I'm gonna. Oh yeah, I'll share this. I do imagine that I'm probably gonna find my way and go get a massage somewhere. So for those of you who actually do like Jack and you want Jack to feel good, it'd be a great time. Kick in some contributions. If you're interested in the description, there's some links, and whatever. It all helps one way or another. I'm going to feel good, and I'm going to help my body feel better. So, hey, we got a couple of guests. I won't shut her. Oh, Snafu, no, you're not coming up, dude. Not at all. Hey, welcome back, Daisy.
StreamYard is not. I can't do it, and it's going to cut me off. What do I do?
I don't know, Daisy. Have you had that issue elsewhere or just with me? Did you freeze again? Yeah, I think you did freeze again. I'm going to drop that one. I'll try this one. You're here now. Welcome, Daisy. And frozen? It appears that way. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think that's it. There's there's many variables that happen in this life that affect everything. The human mind, it's part of the game. It's part of the puzzle, the game that God created. It's a continuous puzzle. It's systems within systems within systems. It's always adapting and changing, and yet it's the same. And if it's not the same, well, then it's broken. And if it's broken, we got to fix it. So this infinite game that we're playing. It's a puzzle, and there's infinite variables involved in everything. So it's really easy to get confused, focusing in on just one small aspect. You ignore all the other possibilities. You think this part. Here, I'm gonna bring up. Welcome, El Perro, brother.
Greetings, Jack. Hey, this issue with Daisy and everybody else out there. You get a simple booster, a signal booster, and you just plug it into an outlet in the next room away from your Wi-Fi, and it's going to catch that signal and carry it over. You can get them for like $20 online. I'm gonna drop a link in the back chat for you, Jack, if you want to share it with everybody. And you just look these up. But even beyond that, I've got my own that I've used for a couple of years until we finally got a new device ourselves, our old device. And it's a long link there. I'll see if I can't do something to fix that. But the signal booster that I used was just a simple can. And I just split it down the middle and then across the bottom and across the top. And then you fold those two wings open and set it right on your Wi-Fi and aim it towards your device that you're using. Like my laptop in the other room, I just set it on my Wi-Fi and aimed it towards my laptop. That's a simple homemade device out of an aluminum can. So either free or for your 5-cent deposit, 10-cent deposit can or whatever, or $20 down at the local Walmart or something. You get a signal booster.
I tried sharing the Google thing, but it didn't work. Here, I'll pull this up so we at least see. Yeah, just signal boosters for Wi-Fi. There you go. And these things help, El Perro?
Absolutely. It's a tinfoil hat concept. You're just transferring the radio signals, radio waves. Aluminum can does that itself. You don't actually need those devices. But if that's your mind and that puts you at ease, that you're so dependent on these electrical devices without understanding, go ahead and get another electrical device.
Here, two things. Our poll. I'm here until I either succeed or I bust. So, especially if it could be in closer to the 15 days, please see what we can do. Because I don't know exactly the best approach. I don't know where to go, what to try.
I would suggest the Bureau of Consular Affairs, Department of State. They're the ones that deal with diplomacy, and that's what we're actually talking about. We're foreign to that corporate state. We're the living souls, and they're the person. They're the ones that hold the records of all the persons. And when it comes to diplomacy, it's a matter of learning how to address each other properly. That's the etiquette that we use. And when we think about it in these courts, when they ask for Mr. Keith Little, that's a specific title in addressing another man. And that's the true aspect of the address. They use what's known as a trade dress by dressing you with an address, telling you what forum they're in. Mr. Little, that's a military forum. Mr. Keith Little, that's a commercial forum. Brother Keith, that's ecclesiastical.
Well, I want to go there and I want to speak to people. And my intent is to reach out to other organizations who align with this and see if they might have connections here in DC that they might be able to share. I don't know exactly what to do, but I know that this is my purpose. And honestly, it kind of blows my mind. Whether you think I can succeed or not, I mean, the goal is worthy in my mind. I haven't had a lot of people saying, hey, Jack, let me offer you some support. Let me see how much you need, or what do you need? What can we do? Not yet, but I know it's going to come. I know this is God's plan. This is God's story. And it's a glorious story because we're a part of it.
I just dropped another link in the back. If you want to bring that up. If you folks are familiar with Edward G. Griffith, he's the one that wrote the book, The Creature from Jekyll Island, about the Federal Reserve. And I'm going to drop a link of it in the chat for everybody. And this is called Freedom Force International. He's the one that's heading this up. And if you're familiar with Gary Davis was one of the men in history, like I said, the man with no country, and he's the one that walked into the UN during session and threw off his American citizenship and declared he was a citizen of the world. And so then he traveled upon the world without a passport of any sort. He created the worldservice.org, and they're along the same concepts. They believe every man is truly independently and at liberty of that free will, so long as it's in good faith and fair dealings. There need be nothing else. That's what the world is supposed to be built upon, is that faith. Faith without works is dead. So we're supposed to work with our brothers, not with nations, not with commerce. We're supposed to work with our brothers and let those forums work for themselves. But we've become enslaved to them by not knowing that difference.
The thoughts on life and death, I've been given those a lot of thought recently as well. In particular, the words from Scripture, from Christ. His way is the light, the truth, and the way. His way, the way he lived, the way he showed, the way he loved. How about that? His commandment, love others as I have loved you. We're here to love in the perfected way of the Christ. And when we lose love, we lose life. When we don't feel loved, we have an emptiness and a darkness. And in that dark emptiness where we don't feel love, that's where the habits come in. That's where the escapism, the blame, the anger, the reactions, and the triggers. But the point is, we die. We die inside when we find ourselves absent from love. I think anyone who understands that can agree with that. We die inside when we feel absent from love. Love is the path of healing. We're not here to die. Every choice we make on our own, right? The words from the Bible, it's so true. Rely not on your own understandings, but go to the facts. What does the truth show? The truth is always greater than us. This is what I found for myself. There's always more to know. Miss Margot, snafu, all of you other people who are so bold and cold towards me, you have forgotten there's always more to know. And you haven't asked the right questions.
And also, I'd like to remind you, Jack, and this is not a hit at you, and it's certainly not praise for Margot, because I have to reiterate what she says, that you're supposed to go to your congressman. I've reminded everybody here recently about Schoolhouse Rock. I'm just a bill on Capitol Hill. In order to speak to the president, you're supposed to use the proper diplomatic channels. Like I said, Department of State, Bureau of Consular Affairs, which is who your congressman actually work for. That's your intro to a private bill on Capitol Hill. It's just a diplomatic etiquette of communication saying, hey, there's something wrong. I'm not a warring faction. In fact, I was born on this land. I'm in agreement with the United States. I believe we need this government, though the oversight and the integrity of the record are in error.
It's time to correct the records. It's time for...
That's really the only thing that needs to be done. Correcting the records, because the light will shine through. That's it. The truth needs no defense.
Right.
So all you have to do is break that presumption to expose the truth.
Brother, that right there has been the lesson that's been reinforced with me online. The truth needs no defense. I don't need to fight for the truth. I don't have to convince anyone about the truth. The truth is here to be shared, not guarded, not protected, not manipulated. The truth is to be shared. NPC the game, brother. Thank you. Thank you for the contributions, man, the support.
And in light of that, I think that's what Jack is talking about with the secrets. There are certain secrets that we know between each other that are a matter of privacy for business concerns. But when it comes to the truth that's not supposed to be hidden, that's what we're talking about with the record. There are certain truths that are hidden because they're presumed in other factions, not in the light of reality.
That brother, the truth has been hidden, and yet it's not really hidden. It's available for those who seek it. But mankind collectively collectively, mankind's ignorance and trust have been used against us. Individually and collectively, people have been misled. And because of being misled, because of being hurt, there's a lot of blame. The blame keeps us divided. And if we stay divided, we're going to be at war until the end. And the end could come in many ways. The end of society, we get a solar flash and the power grid's gone. We get a banking collapse. We could get an escalation in the nuclear war nonsense. The end could be coming in many different ways and at any time. But El Pero, what I feel God has me doing is actually in fulfillment of prophecy. The body of Christ is us. It is when we unite as children of the God. Now, there will be some sort of leader. I don't know what God has in store, but I do know that the truth shall reign supreme when secrets are no longer legal.
And
Now,
can I help you spread the butter on that real quick here so people understand where you're coming from? Because a lot of people might look at that and say, well, he's professing to be Jesus or something. No. It says again in Jeremiah 1:5, before I formed thee in the belly, he formed every last one of us. So he's speaking to anybody that he formed in the belly. Before I knew you, or before I formed you in the belly, I knew ye. Before thou was cast from the womb, I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. So when we spread the butter out, it's every last one of us is getting a little bit of butter in this prophecy. Every last one of us is part of that prophecy, so long as we prophet the word of God. Even in the God creating good and evil, he created Satan, his own son. Okay? Even in that, we are part of the prophecy, good or bad. What part do you want to play?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, speaking of, welcome, El Diablo.
Thank you, Jack. This is fulfillment of prophecy, as you were saying. I just tuned in and I heard you say fulfillment of prophecy. And then I had El Diablo as my avatar already from yesterday. I tried to get on a live stream. That nincompoop Zatoichi wouldn't let me on his channel. Remember that nincompoop Zatoichi? He wouldn't let me on his show. So that's why I still had El Diablo here. I was trying to get on there, but that nincompoop, he banned me from his channel for $200. Somebody gave him money to ban me. But y'all are too
fucking generous to somebody else that doesn't even deserve it. Y'all should have done that for Jack a long time ago. Sorry, brother. I don't
know why that idiot gave the money. Yeah, he gave money to ban me, and I was the guy's best guest. That nincompoop Zatoichi now says that he should have never made that deal because I was his best guest. So he made a stupid deal, he said. Now his show's boring. But anyway, Jack, how are you doing?
Well, I'm feeling blessed. I made it to the DC area safely. So now it's time to figure out the next steps.
Oh, fantastic. You're in DC or a DC area. That's good news. You made it all the way across the country then, coast to coast, basically.
Pretty much. And
wow.
So, yeah, tomorrow, I think tomorrow we're going to find some rest. I mentioned earlier, I may spoil myself with if I can find a place for a massage and a
ribeye steak.
Don't go to one of those Oriental joints, Jack. It's a setup.
Oriental joints. Oh, those. What do you call those massage parlors? The happy ending.
Mm-hmm.
The Oriental happy ending. Is that what you mean, El Pero?
It's much more expensive than $5. Let's say that.
How much did you pay for a happy ending, El Pero?
No, please.
Okay, I won't get into that.
I was the boss.
Oh my
You were the
goodness.
boss. Well, the devil is in the details, Jack. So this does kind of make sense. Me coming on as El Diablo because the devil is in the details, as they say. So I think a day of rest. I think resting a bit is a good idea, though. Honestly, I think that's the good right move to make after that much travel to relax and treat yourself, maybe do a massage or something. And I know you won't get a ribeye steak or anything, but there must be what's a treat for vegans in terms of food? What would be like a
Well,
vegan special meal?
for me, I already had it. It was vegan junk food.
Oh, there's vegan junk food.
Yeah, well, I ate a bunch of tater tots and the fake cheese on them, and beans, and then I had an amazing mushroom sandwich. It was breaded mushrooms, and they're like, holy cow, it's just amazing.
Oh, I like breaded mushrooms. I like those. That sounds good, actually. What about do they have vegan hash brownies? Vegan
I'm sure.
Vegan baked goods, I think I've heard of, is supposed to be good.
I've gained a sweet tooth since I turned plant-based, and I eat a lot of vegan cupcakes and cookies and stuff, even ice cream. Hey, in the background, that hotel, that looks pretty close to the one I'm staying in. That's
really?
Yeah.
Oh, that looks pretty good, actually.
Yeah. It's interesting.
The vegan cupcakes, though, is that the ones in Spokane that you took to? I'm trying to think of who it was, but it was at the post office. I think you brought them some vegan cupcakes from a bakery. I guess they have a vegan bakery there, but they didn't want those for some reason.
They didn't want me. That's the reason.
I thought it was the cupcakes. I misunderstood.
Well, they used the cupcakes as an excuse. They didn't want me. They wanted an excuse to not deal with me. So they imagined bullshit and set the authorities on me. All the police showed up. And that's
I was going to ask you, though, do the politicians in D.C. go to the massage places? Do they get massages at those? You know what I'm saying? Like the congressmen or the senators, are they involved in that? I heard that they are. I don't know if they are, but maybe El Perro knows better.
Involved in what?
Well, it's kind of
the massage parlors, like the massages, and then there's trafficking sometimes with that stuff. But anyway, they're criminals, right, Jack?
Well, but you would have to name specific people when you go around again, like I did earlier, smothering the butter all over everybody and saying it's a blanket observation. Then you're lying. Then you're lying.
Please stop.
Sorry, I can't name names. I don't want to get into it, but let's go back to Jack's mission. I don't want to side rail it with the massage stuff. But
massage stuff. And then we have another guest here as well. Hank, blessings to you. Jack raiding the District of Criminals for peace. And that is the truth. That is
I like that. District of Criminals.
Hi, Jack. Hi, Wizard.
Greetings. Welcome, Cynthia. How are you today?
Hi, Cynthia. Hi, One-Eye Cynthia.
Well, thank you.
Greetings.
Jack. Hey, I came up because I missed you yesterday. I didn't mean to drop down on OTW, so I came up, and so you understood I wasn't running from you, and just to make sure. Okay.
What's with the one eye, Cynthia? You have one eye covered.
I think it looks better.
Showing us an evil eye. You're showing us an evil eye, Cynthia.
Are you good, Jack? I mean, or is there anything? Did I say anything that offended you, or did you have any questions for me to clarify what was said yesterday?
You're always offending someone. Let's get real here.
Well, you've been pretty free with your words about me. So, Cynthia, I was disappointed when I heard the bullshit you and Margot were saying, but hey, you go do you. There's no hard feelings.
Okay.
You
Well,
can keep your head up
Margot,
your ass as long as you want.
well, Margot wasn't on there, so I think you might be confused with another panel. But okay.
What is your agenda over here, Cynthia? I just have to wonder. Are you coming here in support of Jack, or are you trying to stir up trouble?
Wait. Maybe it was you and Chuck.
Yeah, and then we were
Okay,
having
so it was you and
conversation.
Chuck.
Right.
Yeah. And it was prior to that where it was you and Margot. I'm getting a few of the different times. Hey, it doesn't matter. There's no hard feelings, not from me, Cynthia. Keep your head up your ass and go enjoy your life.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. And you have a wonderful day as well.
God bless. Peace.
And see, folks, that's how you let it happen diplomatically. Neither one of them lets their emotions get in the way, and I think that's pretty genuine. Because at the end of the day, Jack is one of those ones that's going to turn around and let her back up on panel, and she's one that's going to turn around and let Jack up on her panel if she wants. That's the way it works.
You're
fake. That's the thing about making order out of chaos. See, it's your emotions that are in chaos. And when you put them in order and you realize the greatest order of thing is logic and reason, you stick to it.
I think Cynthia is a she-devil. But hello, Tarek. Good to see you.
Yes, she is. And Stephen, you brought up a good point. The eye.
Mm-hmm.
Why is she doing it?
That's biblical. That's actually biblical to have one eye covered that way. She's showing something. She's showing some signs of evil, I think.
Yes, that's the eye.
I wouldn't read too much into it. Welcome, Margot.
Hi, Jack.
Hello, Margot. God. Hello.
Hi, King Stephen. Hi, El Perro.
What are you eating, Tarek?
Greetings, Margot.
Okay, I'm sorry, Candy.
Oh God.
I'll mute. I apologize. I'll mute.
Please, dude. You do have a real habit of that, man. You got a reputation. Gang's all here. That's for
I'm
sure.
just trying to be a good co-host and take care of the show so it doesn't get out of control here. He's had some excellent shows lately, Jack. Especially the ones that stay on track.
Hey, Margot. I saw you came up, girl, so I thought I'd come back up too.
Who was the one that mentioned that it had biblical significance?
I did.
Okay, and what kind of biblical significance does it have? Because you posed it as if though it might be something derogatory. So I've got a little ought with that.
I didn't say anything derogatory at all.
Okay, because I just want to make sure it's clear and understood. Because in Matthew 6, verse 22, and this is the same verse, 6, 13 through 17, where the promise of God is given, in that the single eye is rather one's spiritual focus of not being distracted by worldly desires. Just so we're clear on that.
Well, that's a different meaning. That's not what I was referring to. Also in the Bible, it talks about
you said biblical. You said biblical reference. Okay,
I did.
and the one verse in the Bible, the one verse in the Bible that speaks on one eye is Matthew 6, verse 22. There is no other.
I disagree.
You disagree? Do you have a citation?
Then bring it up. Yeah.
I don't have it at my fingertips.
Then it may not be biblical. Maybe you're mistaken. Maybe you're confused, King Stephen.
That doesn't mean I'm mistaken just because I don't have it at my fingertips.
I mean, you have the Bible at your fingertips in the computer.
There's another
Cynthia,
verse.
I like the first picture.
There's another verse.
They're all pretty, but I like the very first one that you had up.
There's another verse or two that speak about the right eye, but none of them other than that one speak about the one eye.
Oh, that's beautiful, Cynthia.
Can you please stop? Good heavens. I don't even know what the point of the argument is. I mean, when thine eye be single, and the light is full, right? I think it's what El Perro was saying. I don't know where it even got into that, but
So let me explain. We have a guy
fine.
literally calling himself the devil, making up Bible stuff that's not in the Bible.
El
He's
Diablo,
just
not the
pointing it out.
devil. It's a slightly different, Hank, and this is my
Right.
mascot. It's not me. So, Hank, you're going a bit off track here.
Please, yeah, I'm not. I don't.
Can we get back to Jack? We got way off track on this stuff, and I don't want the show derailed this way.
Appreciate that.
How are your travels, Jack? Are you enjoying it? Are you seeing places you haven't seen before?
Are you taking notes, Cynthia?
Oh, she is. Believe me, she is.
Well, I'm not.
And your daddy's backstage.
Does
I
it
know.
matter? Does it matter? Yeah, I realize that, Hank. Does it matter? I was thinking about that. I've traveled across the U.S. by land multiple times in this lifetime already. It's a lot of fucking hours on the road, but I know there's others who do it even more. So it's interesting. So, Cynthia, yes, I've actually enjoyed the beauty of America, seeing God's work throughout the land. It's been incredible.
I have a follow-up question.
Sure.
Isn't it apple blossom time there?
I don't know.
Are the trees blossoming with nice pink and white buds?
I don't think that's until like May or so. Late May, maybe. Mid-May? I don't know. I'm trying to remember when Wenatchee Apple Blossom was, because they do that Apple Blossom Festival back there in Washington.
Yeah.
Great follow-up question, Margot.
Thank you.
So, yeah, the scenery has been amazing, and it is pretty remarkable the ease that we can travel at this day and age, right? We don't have to tend to the horses, load up the buggies. We don't even have to, keep checking the road maps. We just plug it into the technology and listen to music and enjoy the road. So it's been a wonderful adventure. More time alone with me and God. It kind of blew my mind that, well, I guess this is what my life has come to. Literally doing this on my own. Guess that's what I'll do.
So is contacting the congressman there in Washington, D.C., is that like on your list to do, or you're just going to try other avenues?
Does it matter, Margot?
I'm just asking a question, Jack.
Right. You ask a lot of questions, and you've been a real pain in my ass for a long time, Margot.
Jay, she's not asking a question. I promise you she's not.
I know. It's nothing to do with anything other than she thinks it makes her look good.
No, Margot. El Perro did the research as well. It's just, it's a way. It's
Margot, do you think everybody's stupid? You are coming up on here.
No, just you.
To make sure Jack is looking like, whatever you want to make him look like. Bad. Yes, you are. That's how you are. What are you doing? What are you doing there? That's how you are. You're so pathetic. I'm so sad for you. I'll pray for you.
I do have to agree a little bit there, Margot, because like I pointed out many times before, when you sit there with your blasphemous tongue spreading lies that can't possibly be true because you're getting second, third, and fourth hand and saying that you're sure it's true, you have no standing in this forum to assert anything here. You have to let that be up to Jack. And so far, I haven't seen much improvement myself. Just saying.
I'm very impressed that Jack got to Washington D.C. I think it's amazing.
I'm not impressed at all. I'll be impressed the day he shakes Trump's hand. See, this is what every man's supposed to be doing, but nobody gets to realize that.
You're
Amen.
angry,
I will be impressed as
Wizard.
well for what it matters.
Hey, Margo.
Amen, Wizard,
Yeah.
for calling Margo out.
Well, hold
Thank
on.
you.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you, Margo.
Yes.
Thank God, maybe one day I'll get Margo's approval. Because did I not get your approval? I left the house in a safe manner, Margo, without promising you. Remember your bullshit?
I'm glad you're safe, Jack.
Hey, Margo, you know what? God bless you. Your false nicety, you and Cynthia, you two are a brilliant pair. I appreciate you stopping by. Praise God. Praise God, because you are among the many who have publicly gambled against me. You've bet your reputation and my reputation with the words that you chose to say about me. So far, Margo, you convinced people like Charles and Maria and other people in my life to stay away from me and to continue harassing me. So, Margo, you should start getting impressed, because unlike the man you imagine, I've been telling you a long time, Margo, I'm not like that. I don't quit.
Yeah, and see, one of the things we have to realize is all this takes fortitude, and the fortitude that we're looking at is all these people that are coming against one man, no matter what his name is, no matter what his background is. And I would think that somebody with an egotistical mind like Margo, instead of wanting to sit back in the crowd and watch it happen and boo and antagonize, she would be one of the ones right up there at the front lines with Jack, so that the day he failed, she would be the one to say, hey, I told you so. See, that's the way I see Margo acting in this platform. She's going to be there all the way to the end to say, see, I told you so. Well, why don't you do that on the front lines with Jack? Because that's where you get your empowerment. You don't get your empowerment from a platform where you sit there and run your mouth. Because I can't say that Jack's gonna be successful, and I have to admit that if he isn't and he does fail, then it only means to me that maybe we didn't speak up loud enough. Because that's all he's doing.
Well, I'm not wishing for failure. I don't think that's good to wish for failure on anyone.
Me either.
And I think Cynthia, I got to put this out there and call it out. I think Cynthia only came on here for drama and content. I don't think she was sincere.
Of course.
I don't think she was sincere at all. I don't trust Cynthia whatsoever. I think she was here to start trouble. And I think that's the only reason she came on.
And let's put it in a bit different perspective, because as you're a little kid and you learn how to ride that bike, you have to first make the attempt. And even though you fail the first time, what do? You get back on it and you do it again. You people aren't even fucking attempting to ride this bike. You can't handle it.
Some of us are attempting. What do you mean, you people? Are you grouping in everyone?
No, I'm talking about the ones that know what I'm talking about. They want to sit there in the background, backlashing and antagonizing other people that at least making an attempt, calling these people insane.
Because let's be positive. Some of us are trying every day.
It's insane.
Some of us are really trying every day.
Right, and it's insane for somebody else to pose you have some apparent authority that you can pull strings and cause them problems.
Oh.
Well, in the end, what gives me peace in my mind and heart is knowing this is God's story. Makes no difference what I think or what I feel. All I need to know is what is real. And I know that Margo has been in my life for a long time. I've also got Snafu in the background as well. I've been attempting to communicate with both of them for years. And both of them allege to be able to have connections, not just to people in the government, but also to my family.
Has Snafu been on your ass for years? I didn't know it was going on that long. I haven't been around that long, but wow.
He has. And I want to send a quick message
Years.
to Officer Snaps. Here I have a passport. The government certifies I'm not a flight risk. So your narratives you have against me have been eliminated.
Hank's showing his passport. Where are you going, Hank? Where are you traveling?
Well, just before I can get this is real ID. So when Trump's new limitations coming for flight in country, this focuses up real ID as well. So that's why.
Would you go to Zimbabwe or Liberia? How far would you travel with that passport?
I haven't decided yet, but I'm glad I have it.
Okay, well, it's good. I'm good for you. Glad you have it. I'm in support of that. I'm not with Snafu, by the way, Hank. I know you've said various times, called me a zebra. I don't even get along with the guy.
Yeah,
I've never been part of his group.
You have at a time been part of his group, but you're not with him right now.
Not part of his group ever. No, I'm independent. I always have been.
Yeah, me too.
Jack, you can't be independent. You talk to him every day on the phone.
I know. So. Hold on one second. I have to answer Jack a really good question. Jack, isn't it sad that Margot and Cynthia cannot let it go every single day, coming out here acting like they're
we were actually letting it go and talking about something else, and you brought it back up. Who can't let it go?
Well, I'm just trying to bring a point. Let me tell you why, Wizard. Hold on one second. What I'm saying is, I'm shocked that Margot still has a job with her kids and teaching and all that, and she still does it.
So go do something about it. You want to do something about something. You now have an objective reason to do it. Go do something about it.
Would you let the man finish?
I'm not gonna get mad.
You're getting angry.
I'll yield.
Yeah. We got another guest in back here. I think this one's good. Kane, welcome to.
Hello, Kane. How's Abel?
Greetings, brother.
Better than me, I guess.
Are you good? Have you been? I don't remember seeing you before. Have you
never been here before? Nope. No, I just started streaming about 5 or 6 months ago, and I guess I work third shift, so I guess whenever you stream, usually I'm asleep, so I never been able to catch you before. But I've heard of you. Been wanting to come over here and say hello.
I've never seen this guy before.
Well, I appreciate it. Thanks for joining, Kane.
Thank you.
Kane's a good man. He's going to be like me. He's going to be blunt.
Thanks, El Perro. Yeah, I know El Perro. He comes over to the channel once in a while. I know Hank, and I've met Tarek before, way back when I first started streaming. Over.
Have you ever met me at the Crossroads before, Kane?
Verbal Combat. No, I've never met you.
Okay.
At least I don't remember.
You've never made a deal with the devil?
Definitely not.
All right.
No.
Are you religious? Are you Christian? Are you Christian?
No, I'm not religious, but I do believe in God, though.
Okay.
That's all it takes. And actually, I was thinking about this. I was trying to, I don't remember who I was having conversations with, but with each conversation, when we reflect, we can learn more, particularly when, for me, my goal and my hope is to coach and to be a healer, to help others find the healing within themselves. And the more we practice, any good teacher, that's how they learn. You learn the best when you teach. And crap. Oh, one of the things I've recently learned, the true teacher is the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is the Son of God. And the Son of God is within me. It's within you. It is who we all are. The Son of God is innocent. It is pure, and it is loved. It's not just loved, but it is love. Love beyond the limits of the mind. And so when we align ourselves with the Son of God, the image, the likeness, the beingness of Christ Jesus, we can walk with that peace, with that love. It's what I've been practicing myself. And here's what I learned, paying attention to how I've been adapting and learning how to surrender and such. My faith, I had to give it to myself. Each of us, when we're afraid, we've got to give ourselves permission to feel calm. We've got to give ourselves permission to be strong. We've got to take responsibility for who we are and move us beyond who we used to be. Because
Viking strong.
What's
I'm
that?
sorry. I thought you were.
No.
Sorry, Jack. I thought you were finished there. I was saying Viking strong when you said permission to be strong. That's one of my sayings is Viking strong. Hashtag
Yeah.
Viking strong. And yeah, we should be strong and not have pity parties. I thought it was fantastic. Right before I got here, you were talking about fulfilling prophecy, your life fulfilling prophecy and ours. I'd love to hear more about that. I think that was very interesting. And then Cynthia, I think, showed up and it kind of got derailed.
Yeah. But Jack, did you make? I'm just one question. Did you make a mistake when you said the Holy Spirit is the Son of God? Because I thought they're all separate entities. Each one is a God.
There is
just in
only,
case I'm wrong.
Are you talking about the Holy Trinity now, Tarek? Is that what you're asking about?
Yeah, no, Jack said it.
Yeah, the
What I was
Trinity would
saying
be
is,
God the Father, the Holy Spirit, and the Son, but they're all one. They're all
yeah,
one.
no, I know. But what I'm saying,
Yeah.
and when Jack said it, he said the Holy Spirit is the Son of God. Am I wrong to
I think
claim?
nitpicking, maybe. I don't know.
Okay, maybe I am. No problem.
Yeah.
well,
I yield.
I did say that. I did say that the Holy Spirit is in the likeness, if you play with these terms and you can understand it, and actually this goes further into where I was going. The Son, what is a son from a father? It's an image. It's built of the same cloth. It carries the same energies, the same purpose, the same meaning, right? So we are an image in the likeness. We have the law of God is set onto our heart. We know what is right. We know what is compassionate. We know what is forgiving. We know these things because it's written within us. There's a guidance system. That guidance system within us, you see yourself doing good for someone else, you feel good inside. That's the Spirit of God bringing the rewards, and those are the rewards of heaven, those good feelings that happen from doing goodness on earth. Let's get addicted to those chemicals, right? The signs of the Holy Spirit that we're being moved in the right direction. So to come back and really sum up your question, and here's the conclusion I came to, Tarek. The Son, the Father, the Holy Spirit, all that is light, all that is dark, all that is God. For me, God is everything.
Yes.
So Jack,
of course, yeah.
Jack, I kind of agree with it, but I think there's like some people's wires are twisted, and they think just bringing other people down, wiping other people out is good, and that's my biggest issue. Some people.
With me?
No, your daddy in the back, Tarek. He's one of those people who's twisted.
Oh, you're talking about Snafu?
Yes, he's twisted.
Stop saying he's my daddy. He's not my daddy.
The daddy
Actually,
stuff has got
Snafu,
old.
Actually,
Duck
Snafu,
face Rusty. Sorry. Go ahead.
Snafu's got actually some really good um, information. So if he can handle himself respectfully, I think Jack would make the call. He can maybe give you some insight on some things.
We have hours of footage of him not handling himself respectfully and not taking
I know, but
accountability
I've
and
never seen him be
responsibility for his
respectful.
own actions.
it's up to Jack. It's up to Jack. I'm just telling you, Snafu has some really important information that came up, and I finally agree with them on that one.
Just
And it would be
recently, or
good.
He
No,
hasn't
just
apologized.
recently.
He has not,
Yeah.
as of yet. It's been 4 months. Apologized for the terroristic threat he made to me backstage on December 31st, 2024.
that's hold. Hey, Hank, you're just don't go back
I
to
know
that.
we're not talking about personal stuff. We're here talking about
It's
Jack
not personal. It was on this.
and
It was on this panel. It was in backstage on the panel last year. At the end of the year.
I got you. I
Hank,
got you,
he's
Hank.
not
But
going
I'm
to
just
do
trying to get
anything.
it back to Jack. I'm trying to get it back to Jack. I yield.
Are you eating toffee, Tarek? That's the only question I have for you. Are you eating toffee, or what is that?
Ice cream sandwiches. Ice cream. It's an ice cream dipped chocolate bar. Dipped in chocolate ice cream bar. Hello,
Very
hello
close.
everyone.
I'm
Hello.
sorry. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Good to see you, Jack. Nice to see you, Jack.
Thank you. Greetings.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So, Jack, I was talking to a friend of mine earlier. He said you're on your way to Washington, possibly. Is that what's going on there?
Well, my goal, my purpose is Veterans for Peace. You know,
Are you a veteran?
I am.
Okay.
And the purpose I found for myself now is truly it's ending wars. A lot of people have been treating me like a joke online and offline, which for the life of me, I can't figure out why. But ending wars is pretty important to me. And I figure if we want that to happen, people in Washington, D.C. are going to have to be involved, right?
I think it's a lot bigger than that, though. Could be why some people laugh at the notion.
Well,
almost seems like it's something that's hardwired into mankind.
Yes, those people are twisted. I'm telling you why. Those people think wars are good, and we need to.
Regardless of if it's hard or not, regardless if it's been done or not, it seems like the right thing to do. And
exactly. And can I express that it's important to point out here, Jack's relative role in this is his background as a postal service worker, and most people might consider that as a kind of high-ranking job. You know, they travel around without license plates. One concept that I've always thought about deeply. So we won't get into that now, but the real aspect is that in that tenure, he was the president of the labor union. And in all that time, you know,
the federal union, or just in the state, or what?
I was a local union president. Is all
local union, okay,
right. But he was still at the head of the local communications channels to have peaceful arbitrations with the labor union and the disputes.
Right.
And I think he's done relatively well in that he's got several workers that have gone on to claim on certain channels that he was a well-respected man all up until the very end. Then everybody had this despising attitude towards him. How does that come to be and portray that he's a violent man when his entire record?
What do you mean by everybody, though, Altero? That's painting everybody.
Okay, let me redefine that. The people that have come against Jack in this postal union and various other venues that many people are aware of, it needs to be brought out to the proper aspect. Jack is always. Hold on, I'm going to land it right here. Jack has always been peaceful, even on these platforms, and has shown his development and his growth in that as well. I think people need to understand Jack's just trying to communicate and nothing more, nothing less, because that's the most inherent fucking talent we have. Again,
I don't.
before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. Before thou was, I sanctified thee and ordained thee a prophet, because that's our talent. We're supposed to speak the truth and be clear.
Thank you.
I don't mean any disrespect or anything. I'm not familiar with your story, Jack. El Piro, what do you mean when you say the end? When the end came, or whatever? What are you talking about?
When there was an issue with the Postal Service, it was the Postal Service that turned on him, made everything public. His family turned on him, everything, saying he was psychotic, saying he was insane. My God, the man went into the Postal Service with a box of goddamn cupcakes saying, hey, can we sit down and talk? They called in a fucking bomb squad or some shit like that. Come on.
Vegan cupcakes, yes. It wasn't bombs. They were the bomb.
Are you saying you were fired and then you showed up with the box of cupcakes? Is that what you mean?
I was in the middle of a labor dispute, and I showed up with a box of cupcakes, a book on spirituality, and a book on psychology to reference so that I could speak with my former coworkers, the managers, but they were out of their mind. So, Kane, the story of Jack, congratulations. You found yourself here, and it could be at the perfect time, because the story of the past has been pretty unbelievable. There's shit that's happened to me, and people have done things to me, and because of me.
Were you fired? Were you fired from that job before you showed up with the cupcakes? Or
I answered that.
Oh, I mean,
prior to the finalization, it was during a 3-year labor dispute.
That's why I was asking for clarification. I wasn't clear.
And I answered it. So please.
So did they escort you out is what I wanted to ask. Were you like escorted out of the building that you showed up at?
When?
Whenever you were fired.
Why? What
Dude,
what are you trying to understand? What is the deal?
I'm trying to understand why they took it so seriously.
No. You know what the deal is? These people, I'm sorry. These people, Jack, like this guy, Marco and everybody, they thought, hold on. You seem to know a lot about Jack. You all come on the channel.
Sorry.
No, yeah, you do. You seem to know about his kids.
Tarek.
I ain't saying nothing about his kids, bro.
No, I understand that, Kane. Yeah, you're trying to understand, and please forgive my shortness with this, okay? You're kind of missing the point. It appears you're giving me the questioning, were you walked out? Did they have a right to do that? That's what you're investigating, and you're totally missing the entire point.
Well, you said they got upset because you showed up with a box, and I was just saying maybe that's why. If you were escorted out and then you show up with a box.
Case.
Well, that's what I was asking. That's all I was asking. I don't understand what all this.
Understand. Please try to understand it from my perspective that they were wrong. Okay, they were not justified. That's what you're doing. You're trying to find reasons why they were justified in reacting to me that way.
No, I'm not trying to do anything.
I realize.
Don't act like you know my motives and what I'm trying to do. We just met. So
you're not doing anything wrong. I'm suggesting that your questioning is keeping you from getting what's important.
Right.
That they were wrong?
Well, most people ask questions generated toward the negative perspective. And that's what he's been going through all the way through. Challenge after challenge after challenge. It's already been challenged.
That was the first question I asked. What do you mean?
It's not just you.
Well, I think you're kind of lumping me in with somebody else. I mean, maybe it happens so often that you kind of think I'm somebody who I'm not.
Kane, that is exactly what El Perro was just describing to you. There has been a long pattern that I've been dealing with. He's witnessed more of this than you have. Okay, and
I've been part of it. Like I said, in the early days, I wasn't perfect. I was indoctrinated by this panel verse just like everybody else, willing to let my feelings go free. I had to put an order to the chaos, put my feelings aside and look at the word reality. And when you look at the reality, Jack is not a violent man. Jack has always been a peaceful communicator. That's what his job depended on. Why all of a sudden he's the one? I don't see
You're
it.
looping, El Perro. You said that earlier, though. I'd like to ask, if I may, I'd like to ask Kane a question here. And Kane, are you from Tennessee?
I'm around that area. I'm from Virginia.
I thought so. I recognize that accent close to that area.
Yeah.
So you are a Southerner, right? Would you consider yourself a Southerner?
Yeah, I do.
Well, I think that Kane has good intentions here. I think he's a good old boy, Southern boy. I don't think he came in here.
I just came to meet you.
Evil motives. I think he was just asking some sincere questions.
Yeah. So I thought of a question to ask Jack that no one's asked him before.
Go ahead.
So Jack, how do you think the Postal Service managed to function without you for these 8 years? How do you think they got by? How did the mail get delivered?
What do you mean? It gets delivered. Oh God, go ahead, Jack.
No one asked him this question before. No one asked him this
Wait a
question.
second. Eric, are you delivering mail now?
There's probably a reason that question has never been asked before, because there's no real value or relevance, in my opinion, of what the other people are doing.
What do you mean? The question I asked?
No, my question I asked. I just asked Jack how they managed to keep the service running without you.
No. Here's Kane. You did nothing wrong with your question. Okay. What Tarek was saying, or someone pointed out, people today, we have the tendency to go forward with doubt and skepticism and, try to prove why people are wrong. Please, I've had people wasting my time for years wanting to prove me wrong, but then they ignore my explanations. Okay.
Well, see, I welcome that though, because that's how I refine my arguments, through other people challenging my presuppositions.
Kane, I think you ignored my explanation.
Well, I didn't even hear it before people started going off on me.
What I'm saying is people communicate with me and then they ignore my explanations.
And you're saying I did that.
When people ignore your explanations, there's not really healthy dialogue. You don't really improve your arguments when you got people talking at each other. And that's what the human species has become. That's why I'm in Washington, D.C. I'm hoping to get face-to-face, look eye to eye with some of these men and women who are allegedly representing you and me in Congress, in the White House, because it's time for people to start communicating with each other properly. Now, most proper communication requires a focus on honesty. Right? Because we don't always like what one person may say or another person may say, but we must stay honest. We don't always understand clearly what one person may say or another person may say, but we must admit that. We must ask questions when we don't understand. We must stay honest.
Otherwise, I think you'll find a lot of honesty in DC. Honesty is not exactly their forte.
Yeah, that's why I call it just criminals.
Were you invited to speak?
One at a time.
Were you invited to speak in DC, or are you
Why?
going to some type of event?
Why?
Because I'm trying to understand what you're doing.
No, it seems to me you're wanting me to answer for your doubts again, because you just dismissed what I said.
Wow.
Listen to me, Kane. Are you willing to listen?
I've been listening. That's why I asked the question in response to what you just said.
Are you willing to pay attention to what I'm saying? Because I'm giving you feedback on you in my immediate experience, and it might be helpful. Okay?
I always listen to feedback.
Okay, well, what I just told you, me, and then you immediately go to your doubts. Do you really made a joke about there being a lack of honesty in Washington, D.C.? No shit. That's exactly why I'm here, because I don't accept that there's a lack of honesty in D.C. Not by the public employees, the employees in Congress who are paid by you and me. They need to stop lying, and we need to stop accepting that they are lying. So, Kane, no, I have not been invited to speak anywhere, but I plan on knocking on doors and finding a door where I can get a foot in, and then I'm going to get my voice heard.
Praise
That's
God.
my plan.
Praise God.
So
Can I say one?
I'm going to give you return feedback, Jack.
Hank, please give me one moment,
One at a time,
please.
please. Let
No,
Derek go
Terry.
first.
No,
Thank
Terry,
you.
because you never get to the
Hank,
point.
Hank,
One at a time.
please give me one moment to just tell you what everybody's feeling here about Kane and why Jack has 100% correct me and Wizard.
Oh, you got feelings about
Now,
me? Let's hear this,
Kane,
bro. Let's hear your
I
feelings
know,
about me.
Kane. Oh,
I hope it ain't
I'm
a
gonna give
crush,
it to you,
bro.
Kane.
I hope it's not a
All right,
crush.
Kane.
I hope-
Yeah, in your dreams, Kane. You have asked, say, like 15 questions.
I've asked two
Not a
questions. Learn to
single
count, bro. I
question.
asked two questions. Learn how to count.
I agree, Tarek. You're exaggerating, and I believe you're jumping to conclusions about Kane. I don't have a problem with what he's been asking, not at all.
Well, I don't know you.
I don't have a
just seen,
problem.
like,
He's brand
earlier,
new. I give the guy a chance. Sorry, go ahead.
I've heard of you since I started streaming for about 5 months. I never caught any of your shows because I'm usually asleep or at work. Earlier today, I saw that you were on Flow States a couple of days ago, and I watched like 20 minutes of that. That's all I know about you. So I don't like all these accusations and shit from this Tarek guy, and even you, Jack, acting like you know me when you don't know me, bro.
Hello, Kane.
So don't act like you can ascribe
Hey, Kane.
intentions and motivations to my questions
Hey,
when
buddy.
you don't know me.
Hey, buddy. I'm going to
Yeah.
tell you right now, don't you speak at me like that or you're gone.
Well, I'm just being truthful. It's my.
I'm being truthful and honest as well.
Okay, so Jack, I want to give you feedback.
Tarek, Kane, can I fucking finish a thought?
You're talking at me. You're talking at me, not with me. I'm getting.
You're right, I am. I guess you're right, I am, Hank. You've got a habit of jumping in and taking over. And I tried to give Tarek a chance there, but Tarek, come on, man. What the hell are we doing? This is fucking insanity.
Let's all take a breath here, and I'll be the peacemaker with this. And remember the sign that you had, Jack. Oh, no, hold on a second. Let's all take a breath and reset, and just calm down a little bit, everyone. I have a question for Jack. It's not an intrusive question, but do you still have the love sign? Because we should all try to be a little bit more loving and patient, and not get up in our emotions.
Agreed.
Yes.
No, I no longer have the signs.
Shit.
King Steve,
I missed that
King
love sign.
Steven, I'm gonna take a long breath. All I was saying is, yes, Kane was asking
Why
questions.
do you keep talking about me, bro? Why do you keep
Could you let
making
me
everything
finish,
you
please,
say
and
about me?
stop?
Why don't we get back
Could
to
you
the
let
topic
me
at hand here?
finish?
Actually,
Could you let me?
Tarek,
Man,
actually,
so
it's a good question. Why the fuck do you keep focusing on Kane?
Because there's a point you're missing, Jack, that
What
I
do you
have to
think
get
I'm
out so I can
missing?
show you.
Tell me, what do you think I'm missing?
Okay, what I'm saying to you is, Kane came in with his line of questioning. All his line of questioning. Let me finish, please. All his line of questioning were not positive; they were negative, and we're also speculating on what you're doing in the future. And that's like a Margot thing, just to let you know.
Tarek, I think what Jack is getting at, he doesn't want to say it, but Jack is kind of frustrated because you keep targeting Kane. You're obsessed with. You're starting to get obsessed with Kane, and we're all wondering now if you have a boner for Kane. So
Yeah,
calm
'cause
down, Tarek.
Creed,
And I will
you did
say
say
again,
you had feelings.
and I
don't even
will
know
say
you, so I don't know why you have feelings about me.
right, and I will say
Yeah,
again that
whatever. I just don't like liars. That's all. But go ahead.
Hey,
I'll
I didn't
yield.
lie one time, buddy. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I will say again,
I'll yield. Respected
and I,
Jack, I will yield.
and again, I will say that I support Kane because, again, like you heard him say, he's not religious. He believes in the spiritual aspect of things, and he has a good intent in his heart. I assure you. It's
And I
just a
don't lie
matter of,
about stuff. I might get some things wrong, but I haven't lied up here. I don't know what you're talking about.
and I just want to make sure that you also understand, Kane. I've come to know Jack, and a better communication with him is different kinds of questions because he's already been just hounded to death with the same negative type questions. And I found a better aspect is to find a better way to question, more generate towards the positive aspects, like what is he going to do next? You know, is it going to be getting a hold of the Bureau of Consular Affairs and dealing with the Congress lady there in D.C.?
Well, hey, you guys brought it up. I was just asking questions about it.
I know. I'm just pointing out, you know, if we try to look more into the perspective of coming to peace at the opposite side instead of focusing
Well, I
on
gotta say, this hasn't been a very peaceful experience. For my first time coming up here, I kind of feel like I was attacked just for trying to get to know what was going on. So,
all right, because again, generating questions about past behaviors instead of reflective questions about future actions and what we can do to help in generating proper channels and support that way.
Yeah. If I might interject for a second.
What is it? 100% correct.
I was just going to say that from my perspective, when Kane was asking questions about how the job was terminated, while Jack was also talking about some of the the cupcakes and books that he'd taken to have that conversation way back when, I think Kane's questions were more a testament to the system than to Jack. Like could be more an understanding of what can happen in a structured union.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It wasn't nothing about Jack or anything. It was about procedures and things like that I was trying to understand.
Yeah, I think because of the resistance that Jack's had online, I think that it can be seen as it can be seen as looking into Jack's character, not the.
Well, I hear that, and I make allowances, especially the first time I meet people. So I'm not. It's whatever. It's fine. We're all good. But Jack, I wasn't like attacking you or anything. I was sincerely just trying to understand what happened. Because that seems like an extreme reaction. You said that, did you say they called the police because you showed up with donuts? So I was trying to understand. I was like, that seems strange.
That's the whole point. It's strange. It makes no sense. So here, I've been sitting patiently. Kane, I'm sorry your first visit here may have been a disappointment. I'm sorry your feelers got attacked and maybe we didn't get off on the right foot, but
all good.
You're going to take it how you want. I'm ready to continue because it feels like I can say more when people aren't here. I mean, this is just holy shit.
And my apologies. Faux slogan down there is absolutely correct. I did not mean to make it look like I was trying to take over and be some kind of coach. Be blessed. I'm out. My apologies, Jack. We'll talk again next time.
Blessings. Thank you.
Take care, El Perro. What is it? Is it over?
Yeah, it's time for final words. I'm tired, and it turned out people really didn't want to hear shit Jack had to say tonight. So,
Well, I was really interested in hearing the fulfilling prophecy part, and I kept trying to get it back to that, but things kind of spiraled out of control, and people got up in their feelings, and then it just kind of went off the rails. But
I agree, King Stephen. I seem a little bit frustrated. I just can't believe how many people every single day, all they do is attack Jack. I don't fucking get it. It's driving me crazy. Leave the fucking man alone.
Tarek, I do appreciate it. I do not believe that was Kane. I really don't. Okay, so Kane, consider this, that you're showing up after a long line of people wanting to attack a guy just because I think we should change the systems.
No, it's fine. I get it. I understand.
So
But just that's not what I was doing. I sincerely
know.
just came here to meet you. That's all it was. I might have said the wrong
Respect.
thing at the wrong time, you know, but I didn't mean anything
It's
bad.
just fine. Kane, I actually
Jack.
appreciate you stopping by.
Thank you. Thanks
Yep.
for having me up.
Question, Jack. Sorry to interrupt you guys. I was just going to say, since you were in DC last on, what you thought would have been a work endeavor, right? Are you feeling optimistic about this trip?
Yes.
I would assume it's a little overwhelming, like personally. I know at least when you go through a professional capacity, even though it turned out so awfully for you, you would have thought going there, there was a trajectory you were on, whereas now it's sort of more open-ended. Although I would imagine there's a lot of people in Washington that are there to protest things, right? Like that you might be able to find like-minded people, even if they're not on the exact same journey you're on. So I'm excited to see where this takes you, Jack.
Thank you, Bex. That question, actually, thank you. Because I was considering earlier how things had changed. March of 2018, I flew myself. I was just a bulk mail technician. I was a local union president, shop steward, seeing my kid every other weekend. I was living a regular life. And then I thought I could help the Postal Service become a better place. So in March 5th of 2018, I was in Washington, D.C., and I met with executives of the United States Postal Service, telling them, gentlemen, I'm here to convince you, hire me for a job you didn't know you needed. And I remember going there, and I was so nervous. Because really, this was a potential opportunity. I was trying, in my mind, I was seeking a promotion within the organization that I'd already worked 18 years, so I was looking at trying to get a promotion, but I was speaking with executives of one of the largest employers in the nation. They've got a lot of responsibility, and they made time for me. So I remember sitting there, in the food court of L'Enfant Plaza, where the headquarters is, and downstairs there was a skylight and the sun was shining, and I put my headphones on and did a little guided meditation and prayer, and I had tears of faith and love with me, in that moment. But I remember when I went up there, I was still nervous, It wasn't as nervous as before the meditation, but at that time I was looking up, right? Next time when I speak to these men and women in the Postal Service or at the union headquarters or at the Capitol building, when I speak with those men and women, I won't be looking up. I won't be looking down. I'll be looking at these men and women, and it's time. I'm telling you, if I'm right, why so many people want me to be wrong, it blows my fucking mind. But if I'm right, this is a message from God. Fuck fear. Fuck fear and get over it, move past it, live without it. Because love overcomes fear. And if that's true, if this is true from God for us to know, well, then I am a messenger for the truth of God's love. And as a messenger for the truth of God's love, faith has brought me to Washington, D.C. And I trust that there are men and women out there somewhere who want to help me succeed. So if you know any, or if that is you and you might want to be a part of my success, you don't have to do it publicly. You can do it privately. Just reach out. Let's connect. Let's start putting some strategies together and make something happen, because as far as I'm concerned, there's human lives that are at stake right now.
I mean, do you think that fear has some positive qualities, aspects to fear?
Of course.
Okay. So I was just, it's not really, it's kind of ancillary, but instead of, just not having fear, it's more about facing your fear and having the courage to
But his
incorporate
message
that
is
fear.
live without fear and love without fear. And Jack is living his message. He's on a mission. He's gone all the way across the country. He's gone to Washington to meet and to change things. So this is a mission from God. That's what we wanted to hear. That's why people will come to watch the show. That's what this whole thing is about. Live without fear and change things through God and love.
I mean, I pay attention to my fears. I don't let my fears govern my actions, but I do.
But do you live
listen
in
to
fear?
them.
Do you live in fear? Or do you live
in
without fear? Yeah.
I don't live in fear, but I also don't live without fear. I do have fear. I don't let it control and dominate my actions though. But if you're having a fear response, there's a reason. There's some kind of external stimuli, some situation that you're in, and you should at least listen to that fear. And
I think you're overthinking
hear
it
its
though a
message.
bit.
What do you mean?
Here, let's pause for a moment.
Someone has to
I have a
go.
question. Hold on a second. I have a question for the Sandy machine. The cream of the crop. Sandy machine. Good evening. How are you, man?
Why are you
It seems
disguising
like
your voice?
you're
with
having
Is
a
that
day.
Hank?
Cookie Monster.
You're having a day.
Is this
You
Sesame
seem to be
Street? What is
annoying
it?
me, man.
The show's not about me. Please don't distract by coming on to try to troll me. It's about Jack and his message and his mission. I don't want people derailing the show that way. It's
Stephen,
rude.
it was bizarre. He'd sat back
Yeah.
there for a long time.
Sounded like the Cookie Monster, somebody using a fake voice or something.
Yeah, it's bizarre. Hey,
So
Tarek,
So
I
can
hope
I
that
ask-
wasn't you.
do you have
Sorry,
any?
go ahead.
Do you have fears, Jack? Or you just have you passed the state of being fearful of anything, or do you still have fears, or are you more talking like I said? You have the courage to face your fears. I'm just uncertain exactly what you mean when you say what you were saying.
I found and faced fears I didn't know that I had.
I hear that.
And so I got sick and tired of feeling fear. So I learned to face it and deal with it. And that's why I say now, fuck fear. It has no fucking time in my life anymore.
So
If
you
it
found the
counts-
courage to face your fears. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. And the realization, fear is illogical. I mean,
Well-
it's certain. Hear me. So is love. Love is illogical. They're both beyond logic. But if you think the thoughts through, love is the answer. And if you think most of the fears through, many of them are illogical. Because fearing something that might or might not happen 6 weeks or a month from now, that's illogical. It's foolishness to feel the chemicals of fear when you don't have to. Yet that's what the world is made of. This thought of fuck fear, it was reinforced on my way over here. Because like I said, this is my life. My story is what it is. People can tell the story, it's all my fault. But from my perspective, I've lost everything. My family, my friends, my career, my life savings just got evicted a month ago. So I have nothing. And yet, I know there's ways I can lose more. I've been seeking others who don't want me to lose, who want to see me gain. But praise God, man. God created a tough one in me, And to do that, I had to learn how strong I am. I haven't had support or the things I'd hoped for in many, many years.
Well, I'm usually thankful when things like that happen to me, because you can never really know your true character until you're fully tested. So until everything is taken away and snatched away from you, you don't know who you are.
That's the lesson I actually learned, Kane, for sure. Because I thought I knew who I was as a dad, as a local president, as the worker, the neighbor. I thought I knew who I was. Once all that was gone, that's when I found out who I was. And who I am a child of God. I am a son of God. I follow in the way of Jesus, the Christ. And following in his ways, my spirit has led me to Washington, D.C., where I'm prayerful and, strategizing. I'm thinking, I'm planning, and I'm trying to find a way. Next week, how do I start getting in some offices? How do I start having some connections?
Do you have any idea who you would like to speak to when you get there? Like who you're going to try to talk to?
Ideally, Donald Trump, but initially, probably my state senators. I figure that's a logical place for me to start.
And where are you from?
Washington State.
Okay. I have no clue who your senator is, honestly, for Washington
Murray
State.
and Cantwell, and then in Congress, we've got Michael Blankenship. He just replaced Maria Cantwell. I haven't met him yet. So
are they Democrat or Republican? Or
he's a Republican. The two senators are Democrats. I've left a message for his office already, and I'll leave more messages over the weekend and maybe some more emails. But Inspector Tarek trying to run a false flag on me with that zebra cookie monster bit. Thank you.
Can I make a comment on something you said earlier when I first came in?
Please.
And it's nothing, I don't want it to be taken the wrong way. It's not derisive or anything. It's just something you said. You said something like, you don't know why people have a problem with you when all you're trying to do is end wars or something like that. I just wanted to comment on that and say that maybe for a lot of people, it's not exactly, this is just my thought. I don't know your situation or anything, but maybe it's not a problem with you, but the idea, I mean, it's not that you're trying to do it. It's just the idea of trying to end all wars, just because it's such a fundamental part of the human condition. And that when there are finite resources and multiple tribes of people and this and that, there's always going to be disagreements that can easily lead to conflict. And I'm just maybe that because I know I get confused. It's like when somebody comes to my channel being a new streamer, it's like a lot of times people are just saying things generally, and it can often fit, since you're the host of the channel, it can feel like it's directed completely towards you. I'm not saying it's not, probably a lot of it is. I'm just saying there might be both things happening at the same time.
Yeah, it could be. In my particular case, though, Kane, my life has been bizarre. My life has been so unbelievable. It's convinced me that God is with me. It's the only thing that's been with me. And the relationship has deepened my devotion and my commitment to love, to God. It's why I am. That troll is back again. And I don't think I'm going to keep playing around. Now it's as Jessica Williams. But I'm not going to keep, I don't know what's going on.
In the basement?
Sometimes anger is a fear-driven response
it is.
to change.
Yeah.
when people say, "Oh, he wants to end all wars," they get fearful, then they get angry and they start shit. You know
what it is. We, in the greatest perspective, I certainly don't know all the answers, but I know that individually we're all on our own spiritual path, individual path. I can force no one to do anything. I can't convince anyone of anything. Everyone is free to do and think and be as they want. But what I have learned is the eternal truth is what the spiritual mystics were teaching mankind throughout time. Compassion is the way. Unity is the purpose. We are here to unite the world together. Sins and fear have divided the world. Love and righteousness unites us. It's kind of really simple.
Righteousness can be a scary thing to me, though.
Why?
Well, because people who believe they're right often are willing to just roll over everybody in their path because they're righteous. They know they're right no matter what. And they oftentimes, I mean, that's actually how a lot of wars start, because of somebody being righteous.
Well, Cain,
you mean righteous or self-righteous? Because righteous is actually a good thing to be, to have a righteous motive, right?
Well, if you're doing it as yourself, then it becomes self-righteous.
Well, this is the thing. What you're describing, Cain, it's one of our greatest downfalls. Even in my experience, some of the attacks that were described, people coming against me, these people think they're doing the right thing. They think they are righteous in attacking me. And just what you said, that's a lot of wars from people claiming to be righteous. But righteous with God, in my mind, that is love. And there is no love in war. War is, love is absent. So righteous with God, in my view, God is love. So righteous with love brings peace. And go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, is fear also part of God? Is fear an aspect of God?
Fear is an absence of answers. And for me, that means it's an absence of God. It's the illusion. It's the illusion of a separation from us and God, from us and the answers. Fear it's a self-preservation mechanism within us, right? It keeps us surviving.
Right.
But our society has learned how to manipulate that. So people spend years and lifetimes in states of perpetual fear and anxiety.
I agree with
I
that.
used to do that, and I didn't even know I was doing that. But that's why I was an alcoholic. I was trying to escape myself, numb myself, because I had an absence of love. I didn't know where to look. Today, I know. Look to God. God is the goodness. God is the greatness. So find the goodness, find the greatness. That's the path to God. And to know God is to know love.
So
Love
do you love everybody?
What's that?
Do you love everybody?
I love life. I love every moment. And whatever each moment contains, I love that.
But I mean other people.
Yes.
Do you love everybody on the earth or whatever? Like, what about these people who come up and challenge you and try to blame you and stuff? Do you also love those people?
Those are my special friends. It's easy to love the ones who love you. Those are easy to love. The ones who help us practice love are the ones who make us look a little harder. And
Jack doesn't hate the nincompoops. Sorry, but he doesn't hate them. I don't sense that he hates these idiots.
Right.
These
But
idiots.
do you love them though? There's a difference in
I do.
Being ambivalent and hate. You know, he might just not care, or there's a whole range of.
Yeah, that's true.
I do. I love. I have no reason to hate. I have no reason to fear anyone.
I have a problem with that, honestly. If I'm being honest, I can't say I just love everybody. That's above my pay grade. I mean, I have a love for humanity in general.
Well,
Like,
Kane, would you love somebody if they murdered your sister or mother? Like,
No.
or would you hate them forever? What
I
would
don't
you
know if I
do?
would hate them forever, but I certainly wouldn't love them. No,
You wouldn't forgive them and love them?
I can't say that. I mean, I might forgive them eventually, but I don't think I would ever love them. No.
Well, what if they were
I can't
abused and a
see that.
broken person and they
Well,
turned violent at some point, or
That's
they were on
that's
drugs?
sad.
Or
That's sad for them, but it doesn't excuse the choice they made when they became an adult to unalive somebody.
Yeah, it doesn't excusing people's bad behaviors for because they were victimized, doesn't that sort of negate the healthy people who never harmed, like the healing that was done by the people who were
I've never harmed
subjected.
anybody.
It does.
I wasn't talking about you.
Yeah, what she's saying is, doesn't it take away from, if you're just saying, well, it's okay that you did that because you were abused, all the people who weren't abused that don't go around hurting people, it kind of detracts, from.
But Jack is saying God's overarching message is love, right? God wants you to love. So I
Yes.
think you guys I think you guys might be the devil's in the details, as they say, or as I say. I think that you guys are getting wrapped up in the details and kind of nitpicking a little bit.
You just said details matter, and then you said we're getting
Stephen,
wrapped up in them.
you were asking Cain if he could love and forgive someone who had killed his sister or brother.
Love is the way,
or
right?
mother.
Yeah.
So
I made it personal as an example.
Yeah, I was just using that as, and then had said, well, what if they'd done something? What if they'd had bad things done to them? Does that excuse them? So that's what was just being general about.
I didn't even use the word excuse, though. It's led up to that. Just like someone who's an alcoholic, it's not an excuse, but they're different while they're an alcoholic.
You said, would I forgive and love them?
Yes, forgive and love them. Would you forgive and love all humans?
I said, no, I mean, I don't love all human beings. I mean, that
you
might
don't
sound
love
cold
the
and
ones that have
callous,
been bad or wrong, right?
There's people I've met. Hold on. There's people that I've met that I just simply don't love for whatever reason.
Even if they haven't harmed you, you don't love them. Like, even if they aren't harmful, you still don't love them.
I mean, what kind of love are you talking about here? Just
well, I'm not talking about being in love with them, but a love for humanity.
I like I said, I do have a love for humanity, but when we're talking about individual people, that becomes a different thing.
Yeah, it's a work in progress, wouldn't you say, Jack? Like, because your goal to end all wars, that's a love that shows a love and compassion for mankind, clearly, right? But I'm sure there's people in your life that you struggle to love. I mean, again, I don't mean to put words in your mouth, Jack. Like, no, you don't struggle.
No,
I appreciate that, because I understand it takes effort, but once you're practiced at it,
it gets easier.
Yeah.
This is the key to being a human. It gets easier. It gets easier to forgive. It gets easier to get up. It gets easier to do everything, whatever. But people don't think about that. They think, oh, if I fall, I'll get hurt. Oh, if I fail, I'll look silly. And then they don't try. And then they spend a life sitting on a fucking couch complaining and gossiping about other people. I used to live that way. That way is a lie. That's not living. Sitting around without a purpose, just gossiping and complaining, talking about what was or what will never be. It's the mind. It's ego. Huh?
It's weakness. It's a weakness to
constantly. It's a waste of time, right? It's a waste of years to do that, though.
it can be substantial. I mean, because really, life passes by. Every moment we're doing something, it denies us that moment of doing anything else. So when we're spent in these juvenile, egoic arguments, I mean, this online stuff, man, it has been a trip, but my adventure, my time online sure as hell did not work out the way I thought it could. Not yet.
Let me ask: do you think that there's anything positive to come from these type of panels online, these conversations?
It's up to the individual. We can only.
I have a question. Sorry, go ahead, Jack. I thought you were done answering.
No, it's to go through. It's on the individual, because each individual is going to receive what they find, but they're going to find based off what's available, and we end up typically on a lot of these online streams. What's available is a bunch of bickering and a bunch of remembering and gossiping and name calling
And looping and rehashing and all that.
But
I have a question about God and love for Jack that I've always wanted to ask, and it's starting to form puzzle pieces fit together. So your slogan here, mantra is live without fear, love without fear. You believe that God is love, which I understand. So would you say that someone can either love God or fear God, but it can't be both? Do you think that the fear isn't love, so you either love God or you fear God? Some people fear God, they don't really love God. Then would you agree with that, Jack, or does that fit?
I've heard it said, and I think it's true. Fear and love cannot coexist at the same time.
That's what I was getting at. Yeah, I wondered if you thought that way, because you have to live without fear, love without fear.
it's a great question, Stephen.
Yeah,
thank you.
If you consider it in duality, it all works the same way. If you consider love and light the same, which they're enhancing, they're uplifting, they're revealing. There's so many similarities between love and light. And then we've got fear and the darkness. So the darkness is simply an absence of light. Fear is simply an absence of love. And again, it's with love that the answers are found. So love reveals the answers. That's why we're afraid. And when we get afraid, well, the adrenaline and the chemicals and shit, it scatters our mind and we don't think as clearly. You know, we think of the survival mechanism or the excuse for our reaction, but we don't actually come to the sound answers until our mind is at peace.
Well, let me ask, you don't think there's any answers out there hidden in the dark?
Oh yeah, that's where God places them. It's perfect. It's a perfect game. It's like an Easter egg hunt. We're in the dark and we are the light, and we're here to enhance and to grow the light who we are so that we overcome the darkness together. The biblical stuff is real. I mean, I'm no expert, but I'm telling you, my path, it was the last place I went, but it's for a reason. The Bible, man, there's so much wisdom and truth in that. As Jesus was, we are. When we humble ourselves to the Father, which is the truth, which is the light, which is the way to live, we align with Jesus. And truly, we are the light who God has sent into the darkness. For me, the world has rejected the light because they love the darkness instead of the light. That has been my personal experience and testimony as well.
I think people get comfortable in their fear.
Yes.
They get comfortable. They set up these perimeters, and anything that even comes near them, they just automatically shut it down and won't incorporate it.
So excuse me, Jeff, are you Jack, are you a preacher? It's nice to meet you, by the way. Salute. Thanks for having me up.
Nice to meet you. I've been called, well, I do get preachy, but I'm not a licensed or ordained or even officially accredited or educated. But I am a man who I'm devoted to God. The message I share is live without fear. And my purpose, I've chosen this for myself. My purpose is to share what I've learned regarding the truth of God's love. It's to be taken seriously because the God of this creation, man, holy cows, man, holy cow.
What does living... Go ahead, Doc.
What's up, Doc? What's up, Doc?
Having an El Diablo.
Jack is a love coach. Jack is a love coach. He's really not a preacher.
Yeah,
but
I'm not
he's
trying to. This is the first time. I don't know shit about the Bible. I mean, I probably read like 3 pages. I mean, so I've heard it. I know you had run-ins with people before. I saw this dude was here, Kane. I didn't really talk to him. I don't know him, but I figured I'd come and stop by. As fate would have it, there's been a recent death. And, I mean,
the Pope?
Closely related. So, no, not the Pope. There's more close to the home. So, very sad situation.
Sorry to hear that, Doc.
Monday,
no, you don't have to be sorry for me. Sorry for the man trying to resuscitate his wife. And I could feel the pain when I heard the call in the morning. It was pretty fucking.
Oh.
Condolences, man.
Yeah, for them.
My condolences.
Things are going to be weird for a while, very weird. So I just come. I actually, if you know about God and all that other stuff, I've been dying to find out. When I was younger, probably like late teens, maybe 18, 19, it was my great grandmother's funeral, and she was on my mother's side, so I think she was like English or Irish or something. And when we were up in front of the priest, he was giving everybody what's that, the wine and the wafer,
communion.
Yeah, when the guy got to me, he just was bringing it, and he said, "This is not for you." And I don't know. I've always wondered what that meant. Like everyone else got it. It's like
he didn't give you any.
No.
Yeah, you didn't get the wafer, the Eucharist. Well, it's not. It's only for Catholics. Like I have relatives that are not Catholic, and then in church they weren't allowed to go up and get communion. So I don't know if you knew that, but that's a rule.
No, I don't know.
There
I
are
was
some
baptized Roman Catholic.
Yeah, there are some non-Catholic Christian churches that participate in the Eucharist, but there's lots of reasons why someone wouldn't give you a wafer if they don't know where you're at in your practicing of faith. Like it really is about a contract between you and your faith and where you're at in it. Like my stepmom raised her children Catholic, for instance, but she had them out of wedlock. And so she didn't take the Eucharist. Because she was out of contract with the church, but she was welcome to raise her children Catholic, so they probably just didn't know or already knew that you hadn't been to confession, or depending on the church, they want to meet with you first to know that you're right with your God at the time. I think
they discriminate.
I don't know.
They really do.
Well, here's what I
I've never been baptized and I've never taken a Eucharist. Like in every church I've gone to,
It doesn't taste that great. Yeah. You're not missing that much. It tastes kind of like fried bread and glue. It's
I'm not
good.
bitching about it. I'm just saying it freaked me out at the time. I'm a young kid.
Yeah, no.
Out of everybody,
it could have been because you weren't a member of that specific church.
Exactly.
Nobody was, dude. This was family from all over.
Oh, okay.
Like this wasn't. I'm not from Boston. That's like super Irish right there. So I don't know. I just always wondered about it. I dwelled on it. for a long time.
Don't
But
dwell on it. Let's get back to love and God.
I did
Like
want to
the
ask.
wafer, if you didn't get it, it tastes awful anyways, honestly.
I know nothing
Didn't
about
taste good.
fucking. I know nothing about religion at all.
Jack, I
It
did want
tastes
to ask,
yucky.
what do you envision a world without fear? I mean, do you mean that literally, to where no one has any fear? Because I see people, if there's no fear at all, I see people walking out in front of cars, walking off of cliffs. You know,
Healthy amount of
like you
fear.
said earlier, fear does keep people alive. So are you just talking about emotional fear, fear in personal relationships? What are we talking about here exactly?
I love that question. Thank you. It's specifically, it could be taken and applied in many different ways. For my own vision, what I'm hoping that we can find is a world without conflicts, no wars, and no debts, right? With forgiveness and cooperation through communication, cooperation, we can end the wage slavery, we can end the debts. And as a matter of fact, I wouldn't be a bit surprised that if we started working together and, kind of went through and exposed some of the secrets and some of the lies, we might be able to really advance modern day, right? Maybe even break away from the reliance on the fossil fuel industry, the petroleum technologies. We could create, there's many technologies and discoveries available right now, today, that are being hidden from the masses because you and I don't have deep enough fucking pocketbooks, right? We don't have enough money. This is nonsense. It's illogical.
It almost seems like it would take a war to get there, because you're talking about these
Think
people
about
who have
it.
accumulated all this wealth and technology that, I mean, they're not just going to give it up. They're not going to be like, oh, well.
We know where it comes from. It's the Federal Reserve, the Bank of England, all them, the Rothschilds. They're the ones. They rewrote education in this country in 1913.
Rockefellers.
The bankers all sat down. They decided how the United States was going to take money, and they decided how
Jekyll
what was
Island
going to be taught in school.
Hey, Doc.
Yeah.
This right there, that Jekyll Island in 1913 was by the power of pen. That's when the Federal Reserve came into existence.
Yeah.
That's the conversation I want to go have with the men and women in Congress today. Through the power of legislation, we can free the masses from the Rothschild and the private international Ponzi scheme that's taken over the whole world. We are at a time, I truly believe that this is biblical. I truly believe that we are living through the time that was prophesized. I feel called. I feel that we are the return of Christ. What God has in store from the heavens, from the clouds, I don't know. But guess what? I am a leader. I lead me, and I am encouraging, I'm inviting people to turn to God.
Who do you mean?
This right here is the army of Christ in the clouds. And there's many like me. There's many people better than me talking about God and ministering the truth of love and light. I want to bring these words in person to the people in Washington, here in DC. Holy shit, I'm here.
Yeah, but no. Yeah, I was gonna ask Jack. You're in the hotel. What's going on? What are you doing? You live there, or are you there on business?
I just drove in and got into town today, and my hope is to start making some meetings. I don't know. My plan is to, as I said, I want to speak to Donald Trump. I want to speak to all the men and women in Congress. We can bring peace. America. I believe in America. I served the nation as a kid in the military, 2 voluntary enlistments. I still believe in the oath.
Did you really? Or is that bullshit?
Yes.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Well, I just saw a
Bullshit.
clip of I think it was Lindsey Graham, and he was speaking on the Fed, and he specifically said that the president shouldn't have the power to replace the chair of the Fed, the president.
He really
That
shouldn't.
it should be outside of U.S. control.
Yeah, I kind
Outside.
of agree with
Whose
that.
side are you on, bro?
Well, I mean, look, if fucking he has total control over that.
Do what?
You cut
I
off.
don't know, because the argument is so fucked up because it's like Trump wants him to lower it by 0.25%, which isn't shit, right? But it brings it down from 6%. I'm talking about the prime rate. It brings it down from 6% to 5.75. There's a psychological factor that clicks when you see that drop below the 6 mark, which is going to spur. And I agree. Like, I really kind of agree that if they don't lower rates, it's going to fuck Trump all up. It really is. All these tax cuts, all this, it's going to stunt economic growth. He's counting on them to lower rates and spur a whole bunch of building growth, because when they lower rates, rich people borrow all the fucking time. He needs that right now. All's fucking him. So but still, do I think he should be able to just fire the guy? No, I don't think that. I don't think any president should be able to do that.
There's the index and this money scheme. It's a distraction.
No, I understand. And I understand that, like, the whole thing that holds it together is your belief in it. If people didn't believe in, like, a dollar bill, it would cease to exist. But people, they can't get past that. Everybody's conditioned. They think currency is money. It is not money. I have silver and everything. Trust me, I've been studying this since 2017. This big collapse was supposed to happen a while ago, and it was a channel I used to follow religiously. Truth Never Told. He was a millionaire, so put all his money into silver. Yeah.
Even the silver and the gold, that's still someone else's value system.
Not exactly, though. Like, I understand it's actually taking it out of the system.
I know. I understand the arguments for it. I understand economics. I understand a lot of these things very well. That's why I'm in Washington, D.C., because I'm hoping. Do you know anyone who might know someone? Maybe you don't know anyone immediately in journalism or in politics, or
I don't know anything about
that. Maybe you might know someone else who knows someone else, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping. I mean, this is what I've.
Well, what's your message? What do you want? What are you going to tell Trump?
He wants to end all wars.
Right. I mean, that's not something you just do, though. You know that, Jack, right?
And end lies and secrets.
Yeah,
as
and
well.
like, look, I voted for Trump like 3-4 times.
Doc, I
So
don't.
what, Doc?
But I'm saying you can't trust it. This guy, Truth Never Told, was telling me long time ago, even back then, he's part of it. They're all fucking part of the Rothschilds. Fucking
Right, Doc. I've had enough of watching this. They are doing this. I want to speak to whoever they is.
Can I show you something, Jack? Hold on, I'll be right back.
Praise God, man. I am actually getting tired. Maybe that's why I'm kind of cranky. Kane,
Jack
thank
needs
you
a
for
nap
hanging
and a
out
snack,
with me.
everyone.
Yeah, you're good, bro. All good.
Thank you. It's been a long journey, not just the traveling part, but this path of enlightenment for me. And that is what I'll call it, because my mind has been transformed. The enlightenment is when your mind is more filled with light and love. And it's filled with light and love when we remove the darkness, the fears, the limitations. I don't believe in can't anymore.
Amen. When you remove the darkness and the fear, there's room for love. Because that space, you have that space to occupy with love. So, yeah, I get what you're saying.
Thank you.
Well, and if I might add that, you know, I've talked about it before, magnanimity. I always add an extra syllable in there, but it's to be magnanimous, you know, and I think that that's sort of a big part of what you, what the message of Live Without Fear has, what your actions of going to DC to tackle this, and your consistency in your message, Jack. So, you know, if I can just share with you and the audience on my way out the definition of magnanimity, which is from Latinus, magnanimatus, magnus, great, and animus, mind, is a greatness of mind, that elevation or dignity of soul which encounters danger and trouble with tranquility and firmness, which raises the possessor above revenge and makes him delight in acts of benevolence, which makes him disdain injustice and meanness, and prompts him to sacrifice personal ease, interest, and safety for the accomplishment of useful and noble objects. And that's a virtue, you know, so summed up as forgiving of insult or injury is sort of the modern definition of magnanimous, but really, you know, it is some of the steel sharpens steel out here, you know, that some of this insanity brings for us all, you know, is maturity and focus and depersonalizing some of the personal attacks and trying to find a place where we're not trying to wipe out conflict. That wouldn't be human, you know, but to wipe out weapons, you know, and messages that involve weapons or industrial interests under the guise of being a military complex, you know, things like that. Those are things that, you know, we are aware of. And rich people have been, you know, acting like they have our best interests in heart, you know, at heart, you know, and putting private military out as public military, for instance, you know. So I appreciate what you're doing, Jack. I appreciate you having me here. And I really appreciate my online experience, the troubles and the good times. So thank you for letting me be a part of it, and a pleasure to see you all today up here on panel and in chat. Good luck to you, Jack, and I'll be watching to see how things go. My prayers are with you. Bye for now.
Peace. Thank
Take
you,
care,
Jack.
Dex.
Well, Jack said earlier. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Somebody else was talking.
Oh no,
I was just going to say, in homage of what Jack said, I put up an Easter bunny with the Easter eggs because he said God hides the truth in the dark like an Easter egg hunt. So I put up these Easter eggs here because you can find the truth sometimes hidden in the dark. God plays this game of Easter egg hunt, and I put this Easter bunny up because it is, you know, there's a lot of Easter eggs there. And then I just wanted to comment on Jack saying earlier about not looking up to these people or looking at the floor, but looking them in the eye, dead in the eye. I think that's a good thing, not to be looking up at them like they're on a pedestal just because they're in Washington or they have these suits or fancy titles or whatever the case may be. That was a good point that I thought of. And then when Jack said something about going to Washington and he was explaining to Doc that he's not on vacation, it came up in my mind. We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz, because it's kind of like the wizard behind the curtain, you know, the power behind the curtain. So it all comes together, and it is a mission from God. It's a holy mission, and I think that if you love God, and it's about love based and not fear based, and that's, I think, the message that people, I think, if they focus in on, it's based in love, not fear. So thanks for having me on, Jack. I hope you get a good rest or have a nap or maybe have some vegan snacks or treats or something, vegan cupcakes or something. And I will see you again later. Thanks for having me on. And to everybody here, God bless you and God bless America. Thanks for having me on.
Peace. Thanks,
great guy. Yeah, thanks for having me on, Jack. I just want to show you real quick. I was buying these a while ago. It's a 1 ounce.
One more.
Silver American Eagle, the official bullion coin of the United States. There's all sorts of sites, whatever. Just taking some of the paper cash, out of there and trying to put it into something else, you know, that hopefully will hold its value. I don't think it's got all the answers, but anything's better than nothing. But hey, salute. It's a pleasure meeting you. Thanks for having me up. Take care. Good luck in Washington, man. Kane, later, man.
Take care, Doc.
Thanks, Doc. Appreciate you stopping in. Holy cows, Kane. Interesting one.
Yeah, interesting. Interesting. So you closing up shop?
I'm feeling that way. It's time for me to get some rest today, and
yeah, I do appreciate you letting me up. I have been trying to catch you. It's just I work third shift, so I sleep through the day, so I haven't been able to. But you know, you have caught my eye. I haven't watched a lot of your streams, but I've heard what you do here, and it's kind of similar to the reason why I started streaming in the first place, just to further my understanding of life and communication with other human beings on this planet. It's not my strongest forte, so it's all just an exercise for me to you know, to refine my spirit, you could say. And I have asked questions, you know, about 6 months ago before I even started this. You know, I asked God to show me if there is a religion on earth that is true, to reveal it to me. So hasn't happened yet. I'm still open to being shown. So I don't take anything with I don't try to be condescending about things. I didn't have any intentions when I came in here other than just to see what the water was like. And I didn't mean to ask any questions that were out of bounds or anything.
You didn't. I'm sorry to interrupt. It got chaotic and it got hectic, and it gets that way sometimes.
It does.
The intentions are good. I mean, even the people who were kind of grilling on you or defending me, their intentions were in the right place, I think.
Right.
Yours were as well. And my own frustration. I'm sorry if I was short with you, which I was, because you were new here and feeling it out. Holy cows, man. This online experience, I want to congratulate you, Kane. Have fun with it. Right? Pressing you, expanding your own comfort zone, figuring you and others out a little bit. It's a safe way. Yeah, you might piss some people off. Yeah, you might say some stuff and look stupid sometimes. But hey,
well, see, I'm willing to look stupid on occasion if it leads to me growing a little bit or learning something new or this or that, you know. So it's worth it in the end, I believe.
Me too. This online experience, truly, it's been very educational for me. Studying myself, I know there's evidence. I've grown in my emotional intelligence. I found more of my triggers, and I found different ways of dealing with different triggers, you know. So I've grown, and so there is value in this. And watching people, once you start seeing the patterns, man, the world is literally insane, dude. They are.
Well, I don't know if I agree with that, but I have noticed that there are positive things to be taken away from this panel verse. I've noticed just from my personal communication in real life, I've brought some aspects that I've learned for group communication on here into the real life, you know, when I'm at work, when I'm talking to groups of people. So while it can be chaotic, I do believe that there are positive aspects to be gained. Otherwise, I wouldn't even be doing it. I would just walk away. And when it comes to the trolls and stuff, I've possibly did things a little bit different. I invite them in. I let them come up, test me, like you said, because it does expose your faults, your weaknesses. And like I said, that is one of my main goals doing this. So I've just kind of gave them a free hand. As long as they're not getting my channel banned, I let them come up and voice their opinions, even if it is negative of me or, you know, whatever. So thanks for having me up. Like I said, I just started a channel. You can find me at Kane's Catharsis on all the socials.
Hey, if you would, comment in the chat and then one of the mods will grab and post your channel. And actually, if you comment in the chat, I'll add you as a mod. You can drop your link yourself too.
That's what's up. Much appreciated. There you go.
Please.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And I wish you the best on ending all wars. That would be a great thing. Definitely.
Hey, brother, it's gonna happen. Here. There. And if you want to drop your link, please do.
Let me grab that real quick then. I appreciate it.
One of the benefits of being a mod, right?
Right.
And I hope we connect again. This has been fun, Kane. And as far as who knows where this is going to end, but I am all in, and I'll do this a little more in my final words. But anything else?
All right.
For you?
No, just thanks again. It was nice to meet you, and I wish you guys the best. Take care.
Hey, much love. Thank you for popping in. Sincerely. Snafu in the back. I'm going to say no. Not until maybe after the stream. You're welcome to stick around, but I'm not going to bring you up while it's still going. Not after the things of the past. And today, it's already been. We're coming up on 3 hours already. Brothers and sisters, to all of you. Oh, yeah. Hey, shout out to all you guys. Frank, feel free, if you haven't yet, drop your link to Kane's. Thank you somewhere in time as well. Give a subscribe. Oh, there it is. Give a subscribe. Support others, right? We're here to grow. We're here to connect. That's why I'm online. I am online to connect, to grow, to creating a better world, a world with more love, more peace, more solutions, more unity, more community, more of the great things in life. Because when people stop lying to themselves, this is from my own experience, all right? When people stop lying to themselves and they stop lying to others, the world, it just opens up because your mind is more clear. It's such a simple, logical design that there's a perfection to the design. Some of my thoughts from earlier, they're starting to come back. I'll probably make some notes and I'll see if I can return again. If not tomorrow, it will be soon. I'm going to wrap it up from here. Sincerely, thank you to all of you. Do the subscribe thing, invite others, like. And if you think of anyone who believes that ending wars is a good idea and they might know others, might know a way in, let's see if we can capture these opportunities, because I'm all in. This is my purpose, and I'm dedicating the rest of my time to finding a way. How do we? Not how. No, how does it happen? How do we make it happen? It's a worthy goal, and a worthy goal needs to be done. So, brothers and sisters, let's get her done. Till next time, choose love, peace for everyone, and live without fear. God bless us all. Peace.